Hey guys, here's the latest coolness that we can do with Google Slides. Today we're going to make a diamond mirror, which is a little more complex than the standard mirrors we've made where we just flip a rectangular image. This allows you to bisect the image like right along a angular seam to get really unexpected things. Requires a little more precision, a little more patience, but you can do this. I have great faith. Here we go. Now this, as I said, this is for portrait orientation images. If your image that you start with is portrait and not landscape, these are the instructions for you. Okay, so we're going to start with insert image from wherever you have it stored. And I have mine on my drive, which makes it real convenient. And there it is. How's that for some cool graffiti gone wild? We're going to go up here to the crop tool. And if you use the drop down tool on the crop tool, we'll go down to shapes, scroll over here and find the right triangle. We'll click on that right triangle and it just automatically removes a right triangular portion of our portrait photograph. Super. Now we're going to right click, copy, right click, paste, right click, rotate, and flip horizontally. Now comes our first real tricky part. We're going to right click, go to format options. That's going to bring up this nice menu of things. And we're going to change the rotate angle to 286.3. See, that brings this new piece into pretty good alignment with the original, but it's not quite where we want it. Now, to nudge it very precisely, you're going to want to use the arrow keys, but not just your standard arrow keys. We're going to hold down the shift key while we use the arrow keys. Holding down the shift key will allow us to move this 1 pixel at a time. Nope. Still on the rotation angle. All right, I'm going to click back on the image. It was still thinking I was trying to change the rotation angle. So I click back on the image, and now I can adjust 1 pixel at a time. You can see I'm slowly, with the up arrow and the left arrow, I'm walking this other half up to meet its partner. 1 pixel at a time. Now you'll want to really watch the seam to make sure that the alignment is not staggered and that one side does not overlap too much on the other. We want to see the exact same thing as much as possible. And this technique allows you to get it, in some cases, absolutely perfect. Not all, but in many. Now, one challenge here is it leaves a blue line that kind of makes it hard to see if you're perfectly aligned. So if you click on the outside, that blue line goes away, and you can see here that I've still got a little bit of a seam showing. There's some white showing through here. So I'm going to nudge it over just another pixel. So I'm going to click back here. Oh, it undid all my work. Why did it do that? I don't know. Let's see if that's right. There we go. Beautiful. I'm going to try to get my face out of the way. Now we need to group these two together so we can rotate them as one set. They're still two independent shapes at the moment. So we're going to go up here to the top left corner and we're going to drag a box around both of them, but that doesn't seem to have worked. Let's try that again. There we go. Now I'm going to right click and group them together. That actually links them. And then I'm going to, if you're not seeing the format options over here, you want to right click again and go down to format options and they will show back up. And we're going to put in a very specific angle again. We're going to, this time, we're going for an angle of 216.5. 216.5 degrees. And you can see that that shifted it into more of the diamond shape that we're looking for. Okay, now this image is a little too big. And so we're going to shrink it, and we're going to shrink it to a very specific size. So we're going to go back over to our size and rotation. By the way, if when you click on format options, you don't see what I'm seeing, just make the size and rotation scroll down so you can see all the options we're working with. All right. Now we need to make sure we check this lock aspect ratio box here, because now what we're going to do is we're going to shrink the height of this thing so it'll fit on the slide, but we don't want to distort it. All right. So lock aspect ratio, and then we're going to change the height to 4 inches. At this point, I'm going to grab it and kind of move it into place. I want this to be on the left side of the slide so that we have approximately the same amount of border or gap at the top, bottom, and left side. Sometimes it's easier to determine where you are by looking over at the view that you get on the left side of the smaller version of the full slide. All right, we're home free now. Now what we're going to do while it's still grouped is we're going to right click and copy, right click, paste, right click, rotate. This time we're going to flip vertically. I'm going to get my face out of the way again. And we are just going to move that one over to the right side. Okay, again, you just want pretty much nice even borders, top, right, left, and a decent gap in between the two. Okay, there you see two variations of a diamond mirror. And if you look carefully at them, and again, allow yourself just to enjoy the wonder that they have for you to experience, you will see very different things on the little version versus the larger version. So just a few of my favorites here are on the top right here. We see this little sort of Grinch-like face. You see the two black eyes with the pointy hair. I also see a character that looks kind of like Aladdin. You see his two glowing yellow eyes and long, pointy black eyebrows. Now, he doesn't have much of a face, but he does have these big, broad shoulders. And then like this would be his chest. There's also a funny creature here with eyes and a snout. On the left side variation, you see one, wow, there's all kinds of stuff, but I see kind of a funky alien looking creature, and this would be one of his eyes, this one of his eyes, his little tiny mouth, his neck. And these are like big laser beams coming out of his eyes or something. I don't know. But then we switch over here. In the smaller version, I see this very menacing looking bug kind of thing. If you look here, these two circles, these kind of yellow circles, become his eyes, and this big black void is an open mouth, and he's got these yellow antennae or arms that are like reaching out, and they're kind of pulling food in. Anyway, if you enjoy these half as much as I do, it's a good day. It goes in the W column for you. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing your results. Those are my buddies. Look at that. This one kind of matches. Huh. He says, hello, friend. Adios, amigos. Well, kind of. There we go. Now, adios.